Hey everyone, it's Sunday afternoon and I'm coming to you from the ferry dock in Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. I was up here for a couple events and sharing some time with some friends. It was a great little getaway, but it was still business. I wanted to just give you a couple minutes on what happened yesterday and my take on it. You know, most of us in the African American community have always known that there have been elements of white nationalism and Nazis and white supremacists sort of hidden in the shadows of this country. And over time, we've also come to understand that they're not just hidden in the shadows. They have infiltrated some of our institutions. They've infiltrated the government offices and administrations, and there are a lot of ways that their presence is made known and felt to the African American community. We've always known that, and we've talked about it, and we've said, hey, this is happening. This is happening in police departments. This is happening in, you know, schools. This is happening, and we want to address that. And for the most part, we were told, oh, it's one or two bad apples. Oh, it's no big deal. Oh, they will never get traction. Oh, nobody will respond to that. And I think that when Donald Trump came along, all of us, certainly me, maybe I can only speak for me, but I sensed right away that he was validating these opinions, that he was tacitly supporting them. He was saying things that would ring emotionally true for them. He was throwing fuel on the fire of this belief that they've all been mistreated, and somehow by creating equality in our society, that somehow we're abusing them in the process. This sense of disassociation and how, you know, everybody in the life is fair for everybody in the world but them, you know. And I sensed it, and I think a lot of other people sensed that Donald Trump was playing right into that. And that's why they supported him. And so when we saw these rallies, even though there may have been a wide variety of people at those rallies, you couldn't deny the presence of these crazy white-wing, white supremacist, ultra-nationalists. You couldn't deny it in the signs and the t-shirts and the things that they were wearing and the things that they were saying. And while it wasn't everybody, we know it wasn't everybody, it was as disquieting to me to see people standing next to them and not calling them out as it was to see the people wearing those shirts and those symbols. Like, holy cow, how can you be comfortable with that? Because ultimately where they're trying to go is someplace that we should never ever revisit. I mean, we had literally hundreds of thousands of Americans that died fighting Nazis. So to see people wearing Nazi symbolism in a presidential rally and people standing next to them like, that's cool, that was a bad sign from the very beginning. And when Hillary Clinton called out and said, hey, half of these people are deplorable, she got raked over the coals for that. Because maybe she exaggerated the number. Maybe the number wasn't half. Maybe she shouldn't have called it out. I don't know. But I know one thing. What we saw yesterday was exactly what she was talking about. She was talking about people that would kill, that would maim, that are arming themselves in the notion of not taking out some foreign invader. They're not the military. They're arming themselves out to take out this government, our government, a duly elected government, which we cannot ever tolerate. The war that they want to bring is not between America and somebody else. It's between America that believes in democracy and America that believes in authoritarianism. That's what they're arming themselves against. And the NRA has been pushing that narrative all this time. All this time. So what we saw yesterday, as shocking as it was, ought not be shocking, given all the evidence we've had up to this point. But now is that time when we have got to pick sides. I don't care where you are, who you are, where you come from, you got to pick a side. Either you are totally against that, which means disavowing not only them, but what they stand for and how they operate, or you are with them, tolerate them, and are okay with them. And the thing is, complacency and complicitness is as sinful as assistance. It's as bad. If you're okay with the racist, what makes you any better than a racist? For us, for those who are the victims of racism, for those whose ancestors were lynched and enslaved and killed and murdered and slaughtered, it matters not whether you are active or a passive participant in racism. They both have the same effect on us. Understand that. I am still very, very proud of my country, and I know that what happened yesterday was still a very, very small percentage of people. But when the President of the United States get caught up on this, He represents the entire country to the entire globe. I've been ashamed of that man for a long time, but never more than I was yesterday. That's all I gotta say. Bye.